Currently in the City Council, there is a bill called the Small Business Survival Act, which would encourage small business owners who have a lease on a storefront, for example, to enter a mediation process with their landlord to renew their leases. Currently, because a lot of these leases are coming due soon, and the real estate is so expensive, all of a sudden, a bodega or a restaurant, their lease will go up, $10,000 or more. And supermarkets, for example, can't always stay where they are, and they've been closing around Queens. So my question to the panel, I think I forgot who's next. Would you support and sign on to the Small Business Act that would encourage mediation, if not, or arbitration between storefronts, tenants and their landlords, and why so?
I do support that issue. I think it's extremely important that in this community that we have a very good retail mix. That's one of the things that I really am interested in and that I want to be able to work on when I'm a city council member. I've sat on Community Board 3 for a number of years now, and that was one of the issues that I work on the community board, and that I have a particular interest in. I think it's extremely important that we have every type of store in Jackson Heights and in Helmers and in Corona. I think we need to have the high end, and we need to have everything in between, all the way to the things that are very affordable. And one of the things that I want to be able to do is really go block by block, lot by lot, and really look at what type of stores we have and really what type of merchants that we've got, to really figure out where we need to fit in the stores and the merchants that we need for the services that we want. I think that's extremely important, and I do agree with that. I think that the rents are very high for tenants, and I think it's extremely important that they have an opportunity to come to discuss their problems with the landlord and try to create a resolution. Thank you.
That was a bill that was introduced very recently, and it's a step forward. Because one thing we don't have is commercial rent control. In the council, year in and year out, 20 years and 25 years ago, tried to introduce commercial rent control. It's simply not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. The rents are too high. They're high in Jackson Heights. They're high throughout the entire district. What needs to be done by that? They have to agree to this arbitration, so it's a little bit more, and working that out, it's a step forward. It's a fair process, hopefully, at least certainly the kinks will get out of that. And it is a bargaining place for the small businessman who has, for the first time, an opportunity to air his distress, his displeasure, and what the cost of that space is. They haven't had that before, except to look to their locally elected official and hope that we could get commercial rent control. And rent control has just not been placed on the table. But to be able to have the opportunity to be able to sit down and for the first time have someone there besides the landlord and the merchant is a beginning. And yes, I do support that, and hopefully you'll come to a hearing and we will get that through because it's a great opportunity. Thank you.
I also agree with that. I am a proponent as well of commercial rent control. It goes along with my philosophy regarding residential rent control and stabilization as well. I think that the difference between me and the other candidates again is that I'm going to get results, and I'm tired of hearing that why we can't do something. I think we have to know how we can do something and how we can push issues forward, and I want to be the person to advocate for that. I'm also a person who believes deeply in this community, and I love this community, and I love the makeup of this community. I like the little mom and pop shops. I like the fact that we have all the different restaurants, that we have all the different shops and places that cater to all the different nationalities that are here in the community. That's what makes this neighborhood great. Yes, Starbucks came in, and okay, that's nice, but you know what? I go to Cafe 77, Espresso 77. So, and Letty's, and the places where my money is really going to make a difference, and I think that's how we make a difference.
That's an excellent question. That legislation, one of the city council member from Brooklyn proposed in front of the city hall. I was there with him to support. And I am a businessman. I know. Thank God we are talking about economy and the business and how to create new jobs. None of these people never created a job. They are going to sit there and say they are going to bring business. It is so ridiculous to say that they have business acumen. The business is running out of control because of the rent and lot of government regulations. If you apply for a license, a beer license, a poor person starts some business, apply for a beer license, he had to go through a couple of government bodies. Finally, he get tired. He had to bribe somebody to get the license. That is not acceptable. That is why the business community have to know. I am in full support of making an arbitration instead of going to the court.